Yeah, well, good afternoon, Carlos. My name's Jamie. I'm from BBC Radio Leeds. It's nice to speak with you for the first time. Carlos, firstly, why is it that you decided to make the step up to first team head coach at Huddersfield Town? Why was the time right now for you?
I think to come here to Huddersfield was a very easy decision, because I know how important is this club in England. I know that the club is an important. They were in the higher level of British football. Then for me to have the option to come here, I didn't have to make any decision, because for me it was a very nice opportunity that made me feel a responsibility, and at the same time made me live full of energy and desire, try to come here and develop my work.
What have the board and Phil in particular said to you in terms of what they want you to bring to Huddersfield Town Football Club?
I think when I was meeting with Lee Bromby at the same time with the president, with the owner, with Phil, they made me feel that they have a very clear determination about what they wanted to do in the club. I think it's something that is not easy, and it's not common to find people with a very clear understanding of the situation, a very clear determination about what they want to build in the club. So both were very focused that this club needs one identity, and it's something that I am 100% agree with both, because I think every club needs to have one identity, to have one style that after you are going to defend in the games. So I think both made me feel that they have the desire to build something important, to build one identity, to have one style of game, at the same time to develop young players. Both are very focused in the progress, in the transition between the academy and the first team. It's something that I had the experience to do, not only in Leeds, in Villarreal too, when I start to work there. And at the same time, it's something that made me feel proud and with a high level of responsibility for this, to try to get this achievement. So I think the desire that they had is the ideas, the conviction that they have, trying to build something special here in Huddersfield, made me feel that is the best way to go and coach and to help them to get the targets.
You speak of that identity and that style of play that they want you to bring to Huddersfield Town Football Club. What will that be? What can the fans expect to see on the field this season?
The idea, of course, first of all, I have a high level of respect to the championship, because it's a very tough competition. It's a very demanding, very demanding competition. That's why it's so special. But what we want to try to have is, I want that our supporters, our fans, recognize their team. It's for me something that is very important. We want to try to have the control of the ball, because I think when you have the ball, you have more control of the game, and it's something that we try to create the habit, try to feel comfortable the team with the ball, trying to dominate the game, but at the same time, if you want to control the games, you need to dominate a lot of situations that the game are going to demand you. So our idea is try to be protagonists with the ball. Our idea too is to be a brave team, try to don't speculate for the result, trying to go and looking for the result from the first minute of the game until the end of the game. Something that we need to is a brave idea, but this is how we feel football, and this is, I think, we have enough players here with the conditions or with the skills to do it. So I think, first of all, from the board point of view, the desire was this: try to have a team that don't speculate with the result, try to show that they want to command the game. And I think this is my feeling too. It's like every time you have the ball, you don't leave the opponent to build anything important against you. So we want to feel very comfortable with the ball. We want to feel comfortable moving the opponent with the ball, trying to create chances, and at the same time trying to avoid all the numbers that we can from the opponent.
Given your previous position at Leeds, will there be any similarities in the way that Leeds played their football last season?
I think always is every club has different players and different possibilities to make maybe the same ideas. I think in Leeds, they have one style because they have some players, and I think we are going to have our maybe the same target, that is, or the same objective, playing the game, that is trying to control the game, but with our players are going to allow us to make in different ways. Like, we cannot say that we are going to play the same style, but we can say that we want to control the game. We are going to say that we want to dominate the ball from the back, from the playing out, after in the building of the attack, and at the end, in the creating of the chance. And at the same time, we want to be a team that in the defense point of view, we want to make the opponent feel uncomfortable. Something that is not easy to achieve, but at the same time, our determination and energy is going to be in this direction.
A lot was made of Marcelo Bielsa's philosophy and style of football that he has influenced towards Leeds United. What were you able to learn under his stewardship? And did he give you any advice before taking on this role at Huddersfield Town Football Club?
I think Marcelo is someone that is impossible if you are working with him to don't learn things, because he's someone that every time is thinking how he can improve the team and improve the players. So I think to have the possibility to be working 2 years with him was something special. I think was something key in the career. And at the same time, you cannot say that you learn a lot of things from the high coaches. I think I had the possibility to work with him, and it's something that I appreciate a lot. Then always you are going to learn a lot of things more than advices. I think the opportunity was stay with him during 2 years every day. So I think it was the higher maybe advice that I can learn is how he coached. But at the same time, it's like I always try to learn what I can learn from everyone, from one book, from one game, and from any people that I am working with. So I like to have this open mind, because I think we never can know everything, never, especially in football, because in football, every game surprises you, every game. You are watching now the Champions League game, and always you find new ideas, you find teams that start to create new behaviors, teams that make more complicated the playing out of the ball, teams that press you higher, teams that maybe is total opposite ideas or philosophy. Then for me in football, generally in the life, but in football too, you need to be just always trying to learn new things, trying to grow yourself, because in the moment that we think that we know everything, this is the first, for me, the first step that we start to decrease in our career.
Now you've spent some time with your current squad and players. What have you made of them in training so far? How have they reacted to the strength and conditioning? I've seen quite a bit on social media already.
I think we are now with today. We were working 9 days with the team, and I think the first step were positive. But I think at the same time, it's something normal. It's like every time one new coach, every player try to give the best for the coach. The challenge is going to be to keep this level with the pass of the time, and this is our target. It's like we feel positive about what we find here in the club, about the mentality, the open mind of all the players. They wanted to give you everything, and this is for me the most important thing, because what we want always is, our determination always is try to help them to be a better players, and at the same time trying to help them to be a better team. So what we find here is players ready to do it.
Final question from me, Carlos. Given the new stewardship that Huddersfield Town Football Club finds itself in under your guidance, does every player have a fresh opportunity and a clean slate under your stewardship? There was a few players towards the end of last season who were surplus to requirements. They went out on loan in January. Terence Kongolo, Isaac Mbenza and Adama Diakabi, the three who I'm talking about. Does everyone have a fresh opportunity under your guidance?
I think the only thing that I can say is like, for me, I want to have players that I trust on them in the squad. I don't want to have any player that I don't trust. So at the same time, I was watching a lot of games, all the games of the last year of Huddersfield, and at the same time I was watching games of Premier League too. I know that some players, when you are watching the TV, you have some ideas of them, some feeling. At the same time, when you compare with the people that were working with them, and at the same time, the most important thing is when you start to work with the players, you start to have a feeling about which players they have the determination to be ready to help the team or not. Then with Kongolo, I couldn't work because Kongolo is in an injury process. But I know I start to work with Mbenza, with Isaac Mbenza, at the same time with Adama Diakabi, with both players. And the only thing that I feel is that both are excited, trying to show that they can have this club, and they want to show everyone that why they arrived to this club and the determination that they have to help the team. So I think the most important thing when you are a coach is to start to feel what is the ideas, how is the mind of the players, if they are ready to support the team, if they are ready to help, if they want to do something important in the club, or they have their minds out. And I cannot say this with Bielsa and with Diakabi. I think both players show me that they have the determination to be here, to win a space here, and to win the heart of the people.
Carlos, good to speak with you, and the best of luck in this season with Huddersfield Town. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jamie. Over to you, Jessica from Sky Sports News.
Hi, Carlos. It's Jessica. I'm working with Sky Sports News today. How are you?
Thank you. Everything okay.
Good. Congratulations on the new job. I just wondered whether there was any hesitation in taking the role just because it's Huddersfield, being of a Yorkshire rival to the team you were at previously. Does that come into it at all?
I think, only 1 second. Entendí la pregunta que he hecho. Okay. I think I didn't have, it's total opposite. It's like the fact that Leeds and Huddersfield are very close made me feel it's like from the beginning of the year, I was following from I arrived to this country, I am follow Huddersfield. Because when you feel teams close to you, you always want to watch the football that you have especially close to you. So I was follow Huddersfield in the first year in the Premier League, I was follow Huddersfield in the second year in the Premier League, and I was follow Huddersfield the last year. So to have the opportunity to arrive here was for me something that made me feel excited with a clear responsibility, because I think it's important to feel this when you arrive to one big club.
Have you had any conversations with the board about potential transfers? There seemed to be a bit of tension between the board and the previous manager about how recruitment was going to play out.
From my arrival here, I have a lot of conversation with the board, especially with Lee Bromwich, with the sport director, because we like to work together in what we are doing. So we are analyzing every specific situation. We are analyzing how we want to play. We are analyzing which is the profile of the player that we think can help us. At the same time, we need to analyze the possibility that as a club we have to. So then you are going to make a mix of these, of the ideas that we want to create, and at the same time, what we want to be and what we can be. So I think we are working every day constant with these people, because we trust a lot in our work together, because the success only can come when you start to put ideas in the same direction.
And just finally, I'm interested to hear about the advice that you've got from some pretty high profile managers, obviously Bielsa, but also Unai Emery and Pep Guardiola. How have they shaped the coach that you are today?
I think always I have tried to learn from the best one. Of course, when you are watching coaches that arrive here to England and have success, you always try to see why they have success, and another coaches why they don't have success. So I think Guardiola I admire him from the beginning, from the starting of my career being a coach. He's someone that is making unbelievable football. He did in Barcelona, he did after in Germany, he's doing right now in Manchester City. So always we try to see every football game, trying to see every new idea that he introduced in football. But at the same time, the same like Unai Emery is someone that is one of the most successful Spanish coaches too. I started to play with when he was in Valencia and I was in Villarreal. We started to face in different games. So someone that make an amazing career out in Spain and out of Spain too. And like you say, Marcelo Bielsa, like I say to your colleagues, that is someone that I was so lucky to have the option to work with him, because it's someone that you only can receive a very good level of information and you only can grow being with him working. So I will always try to learn from everyone, try to create my ideas, and now try to defend what is our proposal.
Very best of luck for the new season, Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jessica. Over to you, Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Carlos. Ian Abrahams from TalkSport Radio. Congratulations on getting the job.
Thank you very much.
Did you talk to Marcelo Bielsa at all about taking the job? I mean, did you sit down and have a long conversation with him? Did he try and persuade you not to take the job and stay at Leeds?
I think with Marcelo, I have a very honest conversation in both directions. Then the only thing that in the moment we finished the season, and I was thinking that I was very close to have the opportunity to come here to this club. Yes, I was very honest with him, saying that what was my ideas, and I received the high support of him, because Marcelo is someone that never is going to stop the develop of any player or any coach that was working with him. So I feel a high level of appreciate a high level of happiness that he feel, because always when he's watching someone that was working with him trying to get what he wants, he's going to be very happy. And the respect that he showed me, and at the same time the commitment, and at the same time the support, was something very positive, because we were working during 2 years together. We were working. I try always during 2 years give my best to him, and I received this feeling, so it was something very positive to me.
It would have been very easy, very comfortable just to stay at Leeds and be in the Premier League. You must be very confident that you can do a very good job at Huddersfield to have left the Premier League to come and manage in the Championship again. I
think for the people, the perfect situations to grow and the perfect situations to give steps in your life sometimes are more the uncomfortable situation than the comfortable situation. A lot of moments in my life, I have to make decisions, and always I feel these type of challenges. And when you give the step, you start to expose to, like you say, to one new situation. But at the same time, I think when you feel as a coach, for you cannot feel uncomfortable in this situation. You feel just the challenge, and this is our dream, and this is our life too. So the only thing that we can feel is the challenge, the desire, trying to take advantage of this opportunity. Would you say this decision to come to Huddersfield then was the biggest you've taken in your footballing career? Every decision for me is important, and every decision helps you to grow as a person and as a coach too. So I have to have a lot of decisions in my life. Never any decision that allow you to change your situation is easy. Any decision for anyone, not for us as a coaches, for anyone. Any decision that we have to make as a coach is easy too, because we need to make a lot of decisions about who plays, who doesn't play, how we train, what we do in the game. So, but always the decisions are challenges and opportunities to grow. And this is how I live the situation. Important moment in my career, I will be full of desire, full of energy, and at the same time full of responsibility, because I respect a lot. First of all, the people that put my name or want to make a deal with me, and at the same time, I have a high level of respect too for all the fans that follow the team, and my clear commitment is with them. Is try to give my best to them to make them feel very, very proud. Two more questions. First of all, having worked at Leeds and with the young players at Leeds, have you run Marcelo Bielsa and said, listen, can I have some of those young players on loan at Huddersfield, please? And are you going to? Yeah, we don't have this type of conversation. It's like we are in this period of time, every club is focused in the market. And the market some opportunities can arrive from Leeds, another opportunities can arrive from League One, and other opportunities are going to come from out of England. So we are going to be open, just analyzing every situation that we have to make. And because for me, this is one of the keys of the success of this year, the decision that we have to make, we will try to make the best in the decision. That's why we are going to spend a lot of time, especially with the sport director and with the people that is working with him, trying to analyze very well what are the opportunities that we have in the market, and try to analyze very well how we can make this squad strong. And finally, the fixtures are out today. If I look at your fixtures, you're opening 7 games, with the exception of Rotherham, with respect to Rotherham, Norwich, Brentford, Forest, Swansea, Derby, Preston, Birmingham. That's not an easy start. This is a real, I would say, a baptism of fire. It's a welcome to the Championship as a new manager. It's not easy for you, is it, the start? It's not easy for any coach, I think, Championship, but this is one of the more nice things that England has. When you arrive to one league like Championship, you cannot be thinking like any team is going to be easy, any team. And like you say, we are going to respect all the teams a lot. Then that's why we are here, because we like the challenges. And at the same time, we are here because we like this competition. For me, Championship is amazing competitions. I have the possibility to spend 2 years as an assistant, living every game, and every game is going to be very hard. But at the same time, every game is going to be a challenge, an opportunity to show what we are able to do in the pitch.
Well, best of luck at Huddersfield. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ian. Over to you, Mel, from the Huddersfield Examiner.
Yeah, hi Carlos, welcome to Huddersfield and to Huddersfield Town. I'm Mel Booth, I work for the Examiner, the local newspaper, and also for the Yorkshire Live website. But welcome on board to you and to your staff.
Thank you.
Can I ask you, you've been asked about training already. How intense have you had to be with this playing squad? Because last season it was felt that the team went into the season under-prepared. How intense have you had to be with the players this time around?
I think we need to be just ready for the demands of this competition, at the same time ready for the demands of our ideas that we want to show and what we want to do. Like you say, we need to be ready, first of all, from the mind point of view. For me, this is a clear idea that we have. Make the players ready about the demanding of this competition. Start to put the minds in the right way to face every challenge and every game. It was one of our first ideas, or our first targets of work. At the same time, we need to work the team with the same ideas that after we want to show on the pitches. So now the first weeks are going to be very focused to start to create the habits, the individual habits, the more groupal habits, and at the same time the collective habits that are going to allow to face the football situation. So, and at the same time, every tactical behavior comes with a technical behavior and with a physical behavior too. So we start to work with these ideas. We start to make the players ready to face any situation that can happen in the game, and at the same time ready to face the situation in the way that we want, that we need to create as a team, because we want to create just one feeling, just one idea about how we need to solve any attack situation or any defense situation. So now, from our point of view, we will try to improve the understanding of the game of the players, trying to create this unique identity or idea, and at the same time to develop them to be, from the mind point of view, from the technical point of view, and from the physical point of view, ready to face the, like you say, this hard start of the season or this tough competition, or this amazing competition.
Yeah. You've brought in one player so far. Danny Ward is your first signing for the club. How do you see him fitting into the team, and who are the people who are challenging him for that shirt?
Danny Ward arrived from Lee Bromby. Lee Bromby showed me 2-3 options as a striker, as a different possibilities, and both did the decision that for us the perfect player to be in the squad to help us about what we want to do in the pitch is him. So we are very happy that both have the same ideas. We are talking about the club and Danny, because Danny wanted to come here. Danny wanted to show something else to the fans, and we wanted to have Danny Ward on board. But the name from Danny arrived from Lee Bromby, and for me, he's a player that can give us the things that we are looking for one striker.
Yeah. You've talked, we're led to believe you prefer a 4-3-3 system and will recruit for that system. Can Danny play that central striker in that system?
I think we think that Danny is a competitive player, very competitive player. At the same time, he's a player that allow you to adapt to any shape. I don't think there is a shape that be the best one for him, or there is a shape that he's not ready to play. I think he's enough good player to can adapt to any shape. Like you say, 4-3-3 is one of our possibilities, but after every 4-3-3 is not the same 4-3-3, because when you decide one shape, depending on the player that you have, you are going to try to develop this idea. I think Danny is someone that can link the game a lot. I think Danny is one striker that can allow the team, help the team in the beginning of the attack, but at the same time, without lose the reference of the box, without lose the opportunity to go higher and make a movements in the box. I think Danny is one clever or smart player that can, that's why he moved, that's why he dropped, because he's clever talking about the spaces, about the possibilities that are around him. And I hope that Danny can offer to us the same thing that I was watching of him that made the decision to bring him here.
Yeah. Another player who you've extended the contract of while you've been at the club is Matty Daly. And he's a player who the fans are very interested in. What do you think of Matty Daly, Carlos? And could he potentially push forward into your first team?
I think I appreciate the work the academy did with Matty Daly, because they recruited him some years ago, and now he is here and he is giving the step to give the pass to the first team. I think first of all, then when you see that one player from the academy move to be there close to the first team, or we extend the contract now, I think it's very good news for the club, because this is the target of the academy. Then what I was watching in him is just 9 days, but I analyzed the minutes that he had the last year, and I think he's a very interesting player. The only thing that I want is that he keep the desire to continue growing. This is for me the most important thing, that he keep the mind that he is having right now, to be very self-demanding, because if you continue being self-demanding, at the same time you have skills, because it's impossible that you arrive to this space without have skills. But the more important thing is for the young players is to have the mind ready, to continue giving steps, to never think that they have did everything that they wanted to do. And I think what I want is to continue have this desire in Matty Daly, because if he continue with this mind, he can make a career here.
Can I ask about, Jamie asked you a little bit earlier about Congolo and Benza and Diakabe. There's another player who's been out on loan, Flo Haderjanai, and we're just wondering what his current situation is, Carlos.
Yes, I had the option, like I say, to start to work with Isaac and with Adama. I couldn't work with Flo or with Ramadan, or like you say, with Congolo, because Congolo is here in the club, but is injury. And the other players, Flo and Ramadan, are players that I think are very close to leave the club. Then what we leave is like, I am now just focusing the play that we have here in the squad, leaving this type of work for the club.
Right. Okay. So those two are quite close, you believe, to actually leaving. They're not part of your plans going forward.
I think the idea that the club has is like, these players want to have offers, and the club is in negotiation with them with the opportunities to they go to another clubs.
Okay. Thank you on that. Just on the players who are here, obviously Karlan Grant did particularly well for Huddersfield last season, scoring 19 goals, and he's been mentioned as a potential interest for other clubs. How confident are you that you can keep Karlan Grant at Huddersfield Town?
I think the first of all is like, I can understand why the clubs are interested in him, because I was following all the last year. Like you say, he did 19 goals, but at the same time, he helped a lot the team to score and to win games. And I can understand why the clubs can be interested in him. It's like, first of all, as a coach, you need to understand these ideas when you are in one club and the players did a high level of impact in the previous year. You have to know, and you have to feel that these players are going to increase the interest of another club. So something that is normal. At the same time, I can understand too that the players want to be, sometimes the players need challenges and they want to continue growing in the career. So, but now I continue working with him. He is with the squad. We are working with him like one more of the play that we have. And always with all the play that we have here, I will work with them from the first day until the end, the last day of anyone. Maybe it can be 1 year, maybe it can be 1 week or 1 month or maybe 10 years. I will be working with the same ideas. I will try to help them to continue in his growing, because always we can do this. We can continue growing every time. And always I will try to challenge them to continue to do this.
Yeah. Has Karlan, I don't mean this in a personal way, but has Karlan shown you the commitment you would expect from a player who's keen to do well this season?
No doubt. I think any player that did something important any player can make something important if they don't respect themselves a lot, if they don't work hard, or if they don't have ambition. And now Karlan is showing to us why he get what he did here in Huddersfield.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Can I ask you just a similar question, just on one more player? Lewis O'Brien obviously was a standout player for Huddersfield Town last season, and in the same way, we hear rumours that clubs may be interested in Lewis. Have you had any offers for him, and how do you see him fitting into your plans going forward?
Now, I think O'Brien is one of the players that made me feel very happy to come work with him. I think it's important always to have a player with some values, and I think O'Brien represents very well the values that this club has. And I continue working with him I start to work with him, like I say with you, with Grant, it's like, or with any player of the squad. I continue trying to help them. Unfortunately, he had an injury that the last week he feels something in the quad, and we are going to lose him for some period of time. We will hope trying to improve and accelerate this recovery, because we want to start to work with him more during more trainings.
Right. Okay. So he'll not be involved, presumably, at Southport or in the midweek games.
No, I think he's going to lose some of the next weeks, because he feels something in the quad, and we need to be sure that when he comes back, be in the best conditions to don't go again.
So is he out for the start of the season?
He's now for the next 3-4 weeks. He's going to be out now of the team.
Okay, thanks, Carlos. That's a big blow.
This is football. This thing that can happen. Unfortunately, happen, something that we don't want. That at the same time, the injuries are part of our work. We will try to reduce all the injury that we can, but something that we need to accept and continue looking for the opportunity for other players to so that they can help the team too.
Yeah. While we're on the subject, are there any other players carrying injuries at the moment?
Yes, right now, I think we have lost Hawk. It's going to be maybe 1 or 2 weeks, because he has a small problem in the hip too. Someone that is now just focusing the recovery, but I don't think it's something that is going to be important. We have lost Edmond Greens, one of the young players that was on loan last year, and we recovered and started to work with him. And yesterday, unfortunately, the keeper, Ryan Schofield, had a problem in the foam. Then he's going to need a surgery. It's not going to take a very long time, but for the keeper, this part, of course, the foam is very important, that we are going to lose him maybe in the next couple of months.
Wow, that's so. What's the detail of Ryan's injury, Carlos?
The detail is like he's going to need a surgery, trying to repair the form, because in one of the finishing situations, he received a contact with the ball, and unfortunately he had the injury there. Wow. Something, of course, is important for the keeper, it's not the same for a football player. Then we will lose him in the next months.
Does that mean you need to sign a goalkeeper before the start of the season?
We are going to analyze very well what is the situation now. This is what we are going to do from the moment we know that he's going to need surgery. We start to work in what is going to be the best solution to take as a club.
Right, okay. So you're actively looking at the goalkeeper market?
First of all, always we are looking for what are our possibilities inside to the club. And at the same time, we are going to analyze if the opportunities in the market are better than the opportunities that we have here in Huddersfield.
Okay. When you've mentioned already Terence Congolo being out, but you've also got Tommy Elphick and Fraser Campbell as well. How long will it be before you can get them on the grass at Canal Side?
Yes, I think Congolo and Elphick, they both have a more long-term injuries, both. Congolo in the foot and at the same time Elphick in the knee. They came from a long time, so I cannot be expecting that they will add to the squad fast. I think they are more long injuries and they will continue with the treatment that they have. It's different about the situation with Campbell. Campbell, I think, we couldn't work with him neither, but we expect that he can add to the squad in the next 2 or 3 weeks and we can start to work with the team. So this is how is the situation talking about injuries right now.
That's great. Thank you very much for answering those questions, Carlos. Very best of luck for the season as well.
Thank you very much.
Hi, Carlos. I'm Stephen. I'm Mel's colleague for The Examiner and for Yorkshire Live. Nice to meet you. You mentioned a couple of injuries to some central midfielders there. That was already a position where you were looking a bit light on options. Will you be looking for central midfielders in the transfer market?
we are trying to analyze all the positions. Like we are going to try to analyze how we can improve, make this team better. And at the same time, like I said before, we are analyzing which players can be possible to help the team to get this. And at the same time, what are our possibilities as a club. So we need to make the mix of all the things and starting to make the best decisions.
Great. And will it be the case that some players need to leave the club before new players can come in?
I think this is it's important to have a full picture of the team. It's important to have, first of all, this idea. We are trying to see where we can have some weaknesses, trying to cover. Weaknesses talking not about the level of the player, more about the needs of the player that we are going to need. Because I think we are going to face a different championship this year. Different championship because we are going to play the same number of games, but we are going to do this in a less period of time. So I think this year championship is going to be even higher with higher demandings because same games in less period of time is going to make a little bit more tough competition. And at the same time, everyone was ready to face the normal injuries. And unfortunately this year we need to face too the COVID, something that is one problem for everyone, not only for the football players. So these two circumstances have to make us feel that we need to create a full staff with enough options to cover all these demands that we are going to have during the year.
Yeah, okay, great. Alex Pritchard is a player who doesn't seem to have an obvious place in a 4-3-3. Is he a player who could play in a deeper midfield role?
I think Alex Pritchard is a player that can adapt to any shape. Like I think that's why I told you before that every shape, one thing is the number, another thing is the develop of the behaviors. I think the first of all with Alex Pritchard is we are going to try to increase the number of days that he's available to play. It's something very important for us, very, very important. And it's something very important for him because he's a player that needs to train with regularity, trying to can offer what he is able to offer to the team.
Great. We've touched on Karlan Grant. What do you intend to keep him on the left wing rather than at centre forward?
I think Karlan Grant is a player that can adapt to different positions. My point of view is that last year he did the higher impact playing as a winger because from there he started to find for me better options to make finishings. But at the same time, it's an option to be a striker and he saw this. But as a coach, I think that he can feel more comfortable to play in the left side. But at the same time, he can give you the option to play as a playmaker and as a striker too. And always it's important to have players with this versatility to can adapt to different possibilities or different positions. And I think Karl is one of these players.